Now, it's D-Day of the planned nationwide protest in Nigeria, as we have seen, tagged #EndBadGovernance. Protests are already underway in Lagos, Abuja, Bayelsa, and other parts of the country. Joining us now for analysis on the nationwide protest is Osita Okechukwu, former Director General, Voice of Nigeria. Good morning, Mr. Okechukwu. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Dr. Ruby. Good morning, Sister Ayo.
Good morning.
Good morning, Incisive Rufai.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning, your viewers across the globe.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, as an APC chieftain and as an elder statesman, I don't imagine that you will support anybody protesting. But what is your perspective? What do you think? Government has appealed, governors have appealed, some other leaders of thought in the society have appealed to the youths. But the youths are saying that they have demands that must be met. What's your position?
Let me start by saying that I'm in league with the organizers of the protest. One, that there is hunger in the land, there's poverty in the land, there's unemployment, that our standard of living need to be upgraded to human level. The majority of Nigerians are suffering. I agree on those perspectives. So I cannot come here and say that there's no hunger in the land. And I also subscribe to the fact that the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic, under Chapter 4, Section 39, 40, 41, gave them rights for freedom of assembly, peaceful assembly, movement, and expression. And I was part of a protest in the past. I participated for the last 38 years. I participated in the SAP riot, in the SAP protests. I participated in the several increase of fuel price, the battle between the Labour Congress in the early part of the Fourth Republic with the federal government of Nigeria. We had had about 32 or more adjustments, and they had always been increase. The only disagreement I have with the organizers is that in agitation, don't take it as a zero-sum game, that you will achieve all you intended to pursue. It's a non-zero-sum game. You have to calibrate your minimax strategy, your maximal strategy. When Labour was agitating for minimum wage, I came to this platform and other platforms. I told Labour, please maximize your strategy by including housing. You cannot get 200 and something thousand. It's not possible. Labour insisted. They ended up being where they thought they would not be. Now, the organizers of the EndBadGovernance had achieved a lot. Luckily, the agitation had brought to bear the fact that the refineries that failed in NNPC's hand, and Alhaji Dangote, his own wisdom, maybe after the 2012 agitation for the same subsidy increase, decided to provide the refinery, especially when he was denied the one he got from privatization in 2007, and started constructing a refinery. NNPC, in their own wisdom, invested in the same refinery. He completed, and they denied him crude. With the agitation, President Tinubu said, okay, the solution is that there used to be 450 barrels per day allocation, 1,000 barrels per day allocation to the local refinery. Give it to Dangote and other refineries, and denominate it in Naira, which means they have achieved a minimal strategy in the agitation. I thought that by now, instead of being on the streets, what they could have done is to take the only branch the government had offered for constructive engagement and said, okay, we need a bipartisan committee to make sure that the 450,000 barrels per day being allocated to the refinery is utilized to improve those conditions and bring down the price. This is a price that has been increased over 30 times. Let us change strategy and now argue that if you are not paying for freight, if you are not paying for insurance, if you are not paying for demurrage to import the refined petroleum products from abroad, that there must be a drastic cut in the prices. Because you can't tell us again that we are importing from Malta or from Venezuela or from wherever. You are now between the oil field and Dangote refinery, and whichever one that comes on stream, which is local. That should be the agitation today, not just sitting there and say that they should return price to pre-existing level.
All right, okay.
How would that be done?
All right, okay. Thank you so much.
The federal government is highly indebted.
All right, Mr. Okechukwu, I hear you. So you've talked about the aspect on fuel subsidy, removal of fuel subsidy, the recent directive with regards to the Dangote refinery and other local refineries. But how about the other things that people are asking for? The Northern Elders released a statement in support of the protests, giving or highlighting 7 demands. First of that demand is dialogue. And one thing we've consistently said, and since you're a reputable broadcaster yourself, or experienced broadcaster yourself, you will understand the importance of communication management and the importance of effective communication. The people have asked for their president, the one whom they gave mandate to come out and speak to the people. But he has not done that, at least up until now. Do you think that would have helped to manage the expectations of the people? Yes, he sent his ministers, sent traditional rulers to help him speak to the people, but he himself hasn't said anything. Do you think it's important for the president to have come out to speak to the people?
What I'm saying is that in engagements of agitation of any sort, calibrate your strategies, minimax, maximax. And I'm saying, immediately the government made a pronouncement through the Secretary of the Government of the Federation and other ministers. These are the relevant officials which our Constitution directed Mr. President to, if he wants, to delegate powers to. If there was an announcement yesterday, I understand that my good friend Femi Falana, Senior Counsel, Adeboro and others had a meeting with the Inspector General of Police. If the organizers had announced yesterday, yes, we're shelving the protest, but we need a meeting to start on 1st of August instead of a protest. And now sit back and recalibrate.
No, you're not responding to my question. Mr. Okechukwu, very simply, do you think would have helped?
I'm coming to your question.
Yes, so only because of our time. Just do you think, would it have helped if the president came out to speak? And also, I don't know, I mean, we've been playing videos, just snapshots from protest grounds. One of the things that people are saying, hold on a second, are saying that they are questioning the cost of governance and the spending of this administration. They are using unpalatable words to describe their leaders in terms of just this thing around money, corruption. What do you have to say about that? Because these are issues that are bigger than just, giving local refineries 450,000 barrels per day. They are bigger issues for Nigeria in addition to that.
My sister, please try and understand the other side. Don't get fixated. We're talking of a product. You sell crude oil with your right hand and get $10. You now import refined petroleum products.
You're not responding to my question. You're not responding to my question. I'm
coming to your question.
So, but please, can you respond to my question?
All those issues
Can you respond to my question? It's a
Can
very
I answer
simple
your
one.
question?
Yes.
Do you allow me
Should the
to answer
president
it?
come out to have addressed the people? That's my question.
Is immaterial. What is important is that oil exports gives Nigeria 90% plus of our foreign earnings, revenue, and is being thrown to the bush in buying refined products. So if you curtail that importation, you are going to save up to 50%. We should address it.
Okay.
And save money for those things you are looking for.
Okay.
If you don't have money, you can't do anything you are talking about if you don't have money.
Okay.
Nigeria is indebted to about $14 trillion. Billion dollars. And nobody is borrowing you again.
Mr. Okechukwu, I am shocked that you as a Democrat can say that it is immaterial for the president to address a nation at a time of protest. When I asked that question, should he have addressed the protesters or not? You said it's immaterial. Another part you didn't tell about this new...
You know what?
Let me finish.
Why did I say so?
Let me finish. Another part you didn't tell about this narrative.
Sorry, Rufai.
That about this new oil farm narrative you are saying now that the president has said they should sell to Dangote Refinery in Naira, is that it's the same a government agency led by Mr. Farouk that came out and said the oil Dangote Refinery is churning out of the refinery should not be bought because it has high sulfur content and it's adulterated. You've not addressed that. You've not addressed the high imports all of a sudden from a country called Malta that we didn't used to do a lot of trade with as of 2022, but 2023, this government came in and all of a sudden over 2% of our national trade, over 1 trillion, is coming from Malta. You are not also addressing the fact that as of yesterday, the Senate has said ways and means now that we can increase how much the government is going to borrow in recklessness to financial and fiscal discipline in this country. Let's address issues holistically. But I'm very shocked that you as a Democrat say that it's immaterial that President Tinubu should address his people at a time where they feel disgruntled. What do you say about all of that?
Please, Rufai, get my background on the matter. Under Section 5 of the 1999 Constitution, the Constitution mandates Mr. President, invested him with the executive powers, and said he could delegate it to officials of the government or anybody of his like. For God's sake, let us not look on protocol. You are looking at protocol, which is immaterial, which is symbolic. I'm saying, immediately the government said, look, we are returning back 450,000 barrels per day to the local refinery. For me, as a roadside economist, it will cut about 50% of the cost. This is a product that every year we spend 4 trillion for importation of refined petroleum products. And that has castrated our economy. That has brought unnecessary poverty. That had made a lot of Nigerian professionals to leave this country and might never come back with their siblings. I've gone through some villages. I see big houses. I say, where are these people? They say they have gone abroad. My brother, if you are not worried, I'm worried. I'm saying
Mr. Okechukwu,
that my bother is how do we manage that 450,000 barrels per day for the empowerment and revamping of our economy. If you are saying it's immaterial, if you say you want Mr. President to come and dance when his ministers are on the street, when his secretary to government is on the street telling you, come.
Mr. Okechukwu,
You change your minimal strategy.
Okay.
Democracy is not a revolution. It doesn't achieve all that democracy intends to get in a day. You don't do that.
Okay, Mr. Okechukwu, I mean, I don't get to see how this conversation will end up about oil and gas revenue. The big question is there bad governance in Nigeria under President Tinubu's watch? That's the big question that we're treating today. But thank you all the same for joining us on The Morning Show.